Mm, oh, hey, listen, we're here for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I know I was supposed to get a video out the week before last, and I just was not feeling it. Okay. But we're going to tap into that episode just a little piece. Okay. We're also going to get into the latest episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So make sure you guys are coming into the video. And, doing what you're supposed to do. And I do appreciate it. Child, listen, I'm going to be honest. Throughout this video, girl, you might see me sipping on a lot of things, okay? I got my water here, period, with my vitamin Z and stuff in it. Mm-hmm. Child, I got my bone broth as well from Swanson. But I feel away, okay? Because I got this, first of all, they need to be trying to, okay? This is a slick promotion. Hello, give me a coin. Um, I had got this bone broth, and when I looked on the back of it, right? Because I like that it's already like packaged. I could just heat it up. It's already in a container. I don't have to grab a container, put something in. Like once I'm done with it, I could just discard it, right? It's something about it. Like, and it's like on the go, whatever. I appreciate it. But I'm not gonna get this anymore. I think that I am just gonna get the kettle fire, bone broth or whatnot. I think that one may be a bit stronger too, but this one isn't bad. This is not bad. But let me tell y'all why I felt the way. Because when I look at the back of it, it said distributed by Campbell Soup Company. And I never knew the connection between Swanson and Campbell Soup. Shame on me. Because a lot of these companies own a lot of others or work very closely with a lot of others. And you won't know unless you do further research or read labels and stuff like that. But you guys know Campbell Soup, like I believe the CEO came out and said that he would never eat like Campbell Soup or whatever because the meat is, how did he say it? I think it's printed or something. It's basically the meat's not real. All right. And he was caught on hidden audio, camera, whatever, of saying that he would never eat the food that he's selling out to people. So Campbell Soup has kind of tanked. And I'm wondering how it's doing or how it did, number one, for Thanksgiving, right? With everybody typically going to buy those products, cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, all of that stuff from Campbell Soup for, their Thanksgiving meals. And then you got Christmas coming up. So I'm just wondering how they're doing. Are people still not buying them? Are they buying somebody else? I'm wondering, okay? But anywho, child, it's not bad. I just don't think I'm gonna get it again. We'll see. We'll see, child. Yikes. I mean, ain't got no chicken in here, so it ain't like. Girl, anyway, honey, my y'all. Don't worry about me, honey. But listen, while I got y'all worrying about me, I also got my what's it called? Topo Chico. Girl, first of all, I just started drinking on this. I got the tropical mango, and it's really good. I have to say, it's so really good. It ain't got no sugar, and it's good because you guys know I have not been eating sugar. This is like my second month going on no sugar. Okay. And I haven't been drinking it either. Like I have not been doing any sodas, stopped doing all of that. Okay. So I've been having like my sparkling water or just water only. And this is pretty good. Okay. I said, I want to try this. I've been seeing people with it and stuff like that. They really like it. I'm like, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to try it. What me and my husband was doing was getting like sparkling water and just adding like fruit and stuff to it. But I want to try this. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. Okay, it's cool. So I like that. So try don't buy me, okay? As I'm over here picking up different things, all right? Because with this, the way the burps be coming, that's so rude. So prayerfully that does not happen, but I got all my little stuff over here. But anyway, y'all didn't come here for that, right? Y'all came here to get into, or what is this on my lip? Oh, okay. Y'all came here to get into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So I want us to do that. And I have my notes up. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you are a stan of Whitney and Heather, this is not going to go too well for you guys. Because the way that I cannot stand those two ladies at this point is so crazy how you can start a season out and you're enjoying them a little bit. Because y'all know I used to really like Whitney. Like, they used to be my girl. It's so interesting how you can start the season out, not be a fan of Lisa, and by the middle of the dang old season, you're over here on some, you know what? I'm kind of with Lisa. Now, granted, be clear. I do feel like the information that was leaked out about Bronwin, I definitely feel like Lisa had a hand in it. Right out the gate, that's how I feel. However, The way that they badger people about stuff is kind of annoying. And who has annoyed me the most has been Heather. And I have been a person that has wanted Heather to get from up under Lisa for the longest. I've wanted Heather to stop speaking for her, have your own mind, this and that. And the moment that she finally does that, she has become so annoying. Do you hear me? I'm Heather, you getting on my nerves, but we're going to get into some things because I feel like this past week's episode was really, really good in my personal, good conversation for us to have. But let's go back a little bit, excuse me, to the previous episode, right? Where Angie invites the ladies to Greek for a week or whatnot. And she has some of the ladies come over and sit with her family, her dad and stuff, and, learn different words and all of this stuff. Okay, get a little piece of history, I guess, backstory before they take this trip to Greek. And Whitney says something later on in that episode where she says, even though it's frustrating that Bronwin betrayed her, or at least betrayed her trust, she wants to move forward, so she says, and not backwards. But she says that Bronwin's ability to keep secrets is not very high. And for me, I just feel like, Whitney, girl, you're just really mad because Bronwin pulled a you on you. You haven't been one to really keep secrets either. Okay. Now, granted, this was not a secret, but when all the ladies linked up to do the high body count party or whatever, or high hair count, whatever. No, it's called high body count hair or something like that. Anywho, when they linked up, Whitney asked like, hey, Bronwin, I think she asked if it was okay if she could talk about it, or you brought up whatever it was that y'all talked about in private. And so I think Bronwin said, well, you could go ahead. Like, you already started talking about it. You just asked. So go ahead and just go ahead and spill the bean. Go ahead and tell the people. Even though we know Whitney has already had conversations about Bronwin's marriage with somebody, at least Heather, behind the damn scenes. Okay. So all in all, Whitney, you don't even practice the stuff that you preach. You get on my nerves. So they go straight to dinner, right? Once they get over to Greece or whatnot, they go straight to dinner. They have some random conversations, and Heather bought a Cartier watch, right? She lies and says that Whitney bought one of the watches as well. And she really did all of this to get back at Lisa because Lisa and Angie were going back and forth. They're arguing about who was the first person to have a Cartier watch and all this other stuff that's not necessary. And Heather did it as a sock it to you moment towards Lisa. And honestly, Heather has an issue with, I feel like Heather needs validation. I feel like Heather needs the other ladies to know and believe that she's on the same level as them. Like, I can do the things that you do too. And I don't know, Heather, I feel like you see them on this high level. And so you want to be on that level too. Right. And it's not that you aren't, but I think that you think those ladies are better than you, despite even when they brag about the things that they got. Like, I don't know. I think you think of them much higher than you think of yourself, which is why you have to do certain antics to let them know that you're on that same level or something. Like, I don't know, but it's something about it. Because why would you go get the Cartier watch just to sock it to Lisa? And then at the same time, you got 2 Cartier watches for pretty cheap over there in Greece. So it's like, are you really flexing? Are you really doing something for real? For real? Because you got it at a cheaper price than what Lisa bought it for. So she's still going to probably look at you like you ain't on her level. But, that's just how Lisa's personality is set up. Either way, her and Angie are arguing. Angie said she had one well before Lisa. She had Facebook photos and stuff. And then Lisa goes on. It's like, they're just bickering. Like, it just doesn't matter. It's not that deep. Heather says Lisa was acting like it was no big deal, but she knows that it bothered her for her to have a Cartier watch. And I'm like, I feel like it bothered her that you're trying to bother her. Not so much as that you have one of the watches, girl. Like, anywho. So Meredith is trying to talk with Heather because she says it was a misunderstanding about her calling her a liar. I'm trying to recall that scene where they were all doing the whole Boston Tea Party. And I don't know if Meredith said that Heather was a liar, right? I know she was about talking about Whitney for sure. Right. But I don't know if she was saying Heather was a liar, but at the end of the day, I just feel like it's not that damn deep. It's just not that deep. I feel like Heather found an issue with Meredith to hang on to continue to further drag this situation out. And what kills me a little bit is the fact that the producers don't know when to draw the line a little bit. Like, okay, guys, okay, we filmed enough of these antics of you guys trying to focus on this. What else do we have going on? Right? Like, it's just a drag at this point. Like, I'm so tired of it. I feel like Heather is extremely fake, right? When Meredith goes to her to have this one-on-one conversation or whatever to get an understanding, Heather doesn't want to have this talk. Why Heather doesn't want to have this talk is because she wants to have the conversation in front of everybody so that she can have people to chime into the conversation with, right? So people can chime in on her behalf. They can pounce on Meredith, whatever the case is. That's what she wants. That's why she doesn't want a one-on-one. And it's so interesting because in the new episode, we see some of the ladies complaining about the fact that Lisa even Heather, she's complaining about the fact that Lisa is jumping in and speaking on behalf of Meredith. But that's the whole reason why you want to have a whole sit down with Meredith in front of the group anyway, Heather, is so that Whitney and others can jump into that conversation. You know what you're doing. So then Angie asks Bronwin if she's going to get any numbers while she's there. And Bronwin says, well, no. And so Heather and the ladies question her about Todd. And she says, listen, I'm happy. He's happy. I'm happy. Ain't got no issues in my house. Like, we're good, right? So Angie, in my opinion, was putting words in Bronwin's mouth about her saying she and Todd needed to talk about an open marriage. She didn't say they need to talk about an open marriage. Really, she just said she's open to that. If he wants to have a conversation, we can have that conversation, right? They need to talk about their marriage as a whole and whether that is something that they were interested in doing, which is opening it up. Right. So I felt like I was on Bronwin's side with this whole conversation. Yes, she did come to you ladies and talk about some stuff. However, when she did say y'all are hearing 2 + 2 = 5, she's not wrong. Right. Y'all added that extra portion to it. OK. Bronwin is now saying there is no drama. Like I said, in her house, she's happy. Bronwin, again, is called out about not wearing her ring. She says, I wear different rings all the time. That's true. That's true. I've seen Bronwin wear different rings when she has different costumes and different stuff on. Okay. It's just what it is. Like, the issue is, and then they were trying to say, oh, well, you said that y'all were separated. It's like, can y'all calm down? Y'all act like they did a full-on legal separation, like they were separated for three or more months. It's like, it's not giving that. She was upset, told him he needed to leave the house for however long, like a week or so. He was gone for a limited time. And I hate the fact that all of y'all are married or have been married once upon a time. And when your partner probably has frustrated y'all probably did separate for a day or two or a week or two. And one person step in this room, the other person step in. Like, I just felt like for me, they were just doing a whole lot. I don't think Bronwin was denying as far as like, there are absolutely no problems. We never had issues. None of that. She said she confided in them about some things. Yes, there were some things. Where we are today, he said he's good, I'm good. We're not trying to go out there and date outside the marriage at this time, according to him. I'm going to take him at his word because I'm forgiving him, whatever the case, we moving forward. Like, I don't know. They was just putting a lot of extra on it because y'all want her to get out there and get other numbers. She never confirmed that they were going to have an open marriage. That's something she's open to if he is open to that. But obviously, he's not open to that right now, so they're not doing it. Like, I don't know. I just felt like the ladies was doing too damn much on that, okay? And acting like the lady legally separated when that wasn't even the case. Like, come on now. Now, Meredith said, I wasn't there, but I'm going to tell you this, okay? When it comes to this group, it's never ending. I said, girl, 1,000%. 1,000%. Now, at the time of this video, I think right before it dropped or right after it dropped, the news did break. I was already kind of hearing rumors that it was going to be announced soon that Bronwin and her husband were going to be separating. And then it finally came out for sure. I thought it was going to be announced at the reunion or whatnot. But here we are. She and her husband are separated officially now. And she is moving in the direction of getting a divorce. I think that is the best thing for Bronwin in my personal. To me, I just feel like he too damn old to be out there with those antics, okay? And if you're going to deal with this girl, you could probably deal with somebody much younger, I suppose, okay? Or, I mean, I just don't think it's a good relationship, okay? I just don't. I don't really like how he often looks uninterested when she's talking to him, he often looks like she gets on his nerves. Like, I mean, I think that he once liked her, but I think the like for her has been dying down. And it seems like it's been dying down well before they got on the show. Right? But I don't know. It is what it is. A lot of people feel like she came on this show to get a divorce. Probably so. And if that's the case, I'm not mad at her, girl. Come on this show to get a divorce from him so you can at least have some money. Right? However, you did start making money more recently. I hope that does not affect you with getting, if he created a certain lifestyle for you to live, I hope that it does not affect you getting some of that money over there. Okay? That's what I would hope. That you're able to still get a little bit of his coin since he wants to sit up here and have a no prenup when it comes to y'all marriage. But yeah, they're getting a divorce. I think it's the best thing for Bronwin. I don't think Bronwin should rush into a relationship after this. I think she should date who and whomever she wants. Enjoy yourself, okay? You're about to be, if you're not already a complete empty nester, you ain't got to deal with him. I don't know what's going on with your parents. I will hope that her dad is doing well and her mom, right? Because Bronwin, you can't do bad all by yourself. And now, the wealth that you create from this moment going forward, you don't have to worry about it being a situation of, oh, that's Todd's money. Now it's Bronwin's money. Now what else is going on? Okay. And her and Meredith came up with an idea at the end of this latest episode. And when I tell you I love it, y'all need to go forward with that idea. Get that money, ladies. Okay. So Meredith gives Heather a necklace, right? I didn't think her gifting Heather a necklace was really necessary. And somebody that acts how Heather acts is definitely not worthy of her getting a damn necklace. That's just how I feel about that. Leave your thoughts. All right. It does make me think though that you do feel a bit guilty, right? And because of that, you gave her a guilt gift. And I just feel like for me, you didn't really do anything to me. Like calling her a liar or whatever, like you probably was like, you're a liar, whatever it was. It's just not that to me. I just don't care. And she may not be a liar, but she put 20 on 10. And honestly, Heather was lying. You either were woke when it happened or your ass was asleep when it happened. So which one is it? Right? What, were you woke or were you asleep, girl? Which one is it? So you lied about something, but if you were woke and you saw the whole thing, but now you guys want to be so upset at how Brittany was treated, why didn't you stand up for her then? You were like right there sitting next to them. Why didn't you stand up for her? All of you ladies, that's why I can't take this thing serious. And that's part of why I don't care how Meredith responded to Brittany at all. Brittany can't say what she wants and think somebody not going to get on her head top, right? And y'all can't make this a big deal, but none of y'all had her back on the plane. And now we want to sit up here and be worried about Meredith's actions and how she should, like, girl, go away from me with this. Okay? Thank you. So Heather went all day and waited to get to the table to argue with Meredith. Once again, confirming the thought I already had earlier that day. She wants an audience when she's talking to you. So Heather says that she felt like Meredith called her a liar. Because Meredith said, I didn't call you a liar. She's like, well, I felt like you did. It's like, okay, girl. All right, girl. Okay. Scoot back up off me, girl. All right. You gonna feel how you feel anyway, because that's just how you is, okay? And how I feel in this moment is I'm not here to baby you, pacify you, or make you feel any better. Okay? So what you trying to do? I hate it. I hate how they try to beat people down for apologies. Like, it's like every season there's somebody that needs to apologize. So when there is a person that's often standing in the space of, I'm not apologizing for shit. I love it. I love it sometimes. No, I'm not. You're not always finna get an apology out of me. You don't get to piss me off and think that I'm supposed to say sorry for my reaction. Like, no, I'm not finna do that. Feel away. Learn how to deal with it. So moving on. Lisa calls out Heather for holding others accountable for the things she doesn't even hold her own self accountable for. I said, listen, now we ain't got to like Miss Barlow, but Miss Barlow is not wrong in that moment. Understand, she is not wrong in that moment, girl. So Whitney thinks Meredith is the problem right now. Like, I don't think that you're the problem, but I think that you're the problem right now. And I think you could get out my face right now. Like, girl, what? You've been the problem since the beginning. Okay. But I'm the problem right now. Okay, well, I'll be the problem. Am I the drama? Yes, I am. What else is going on, girl? Okay. And then Whitney gonna say something like, and I just feel like, everybody is paying the price for what you did. How are y'all paying the price? How are y'all paying the price for what I did? Y'all are doing things because of whatever reaction you felt I had on the plane. And then when y'all do certain things based on that reaction, then now I'm reacting to the extraness that y'all are giving me. Now everybody else is paying the price. Well, you're going to keep, if that's how you feel, you're going to keep paying the price. Keep paying the price then. Keep paying the price. Because you don't get to sit up here and put lies out there on me as if I'm abusing substances or whatever the case is and think that I'm supposed to be like we're supposed to be good. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So yeah, bye, Whitney. Bye, girl. Let's go ahead and get to the latest episode where Meredith didn't join them at first, right? She didn't join them for breakfast. She was still in her feelings about last night. I don't know how y'all be around Meredith and don't know that y'all can go to sleep on something, wake up the next day and be okay. Meredith not finna do that. Brittany pulled that stunt. Meredith went to sleep. She woke up the next morning, didn't have a lot to say, had to get on that plane, okay, and still was upset about it, right? And then after that, she kind of let it go. Y'all the ones that kept it going. Now y'all done pissed her off last night with the way y'all showed up at the table. Like she the only one at fault. And ain't none of y'all harp on Brittany about pushing whatever narrative with the TikTok. Ain't none of y'all hop on her about that. Okay, Meredith, you said she should expect a whole mountain to be thrown at her. And in all honesty, I don't feel like Meredith really threw a whole mountain. She gave a piece, but not a whole mountain. But even with what she gave her, you should have expected that because that's what you told Brittany to expect, right? And then now you're going to sit up here and try and drag on the lady. It's just, I just need y'all ain't got nothing else going on. And it's like the season started out so great. And now it's like, it's slowly going down just a little piece. Like, what we doing? Okay? So, of course, Meredith wake up the next morning and she's still feeling away about how y'all showed up the night before, right? I don't know how y'all sit up there, be disrespectful. When she trying to talk, you barely let her talk, and then you expect her to show up holly and jolly. I can't. Listen, the only reason these ladies are on this show is for the check. Because a real friendship ain't finna go like that. Okay? Like, I just couldn't do it. And I see why some of these housewives at times be trying to evaluate, girl, should I do this check? Should I keep coming, showing up? Okay, we definitely could use the extra money. I am investing some of this coin, honey, but damn. For all of this hell I go through, I see why they be coming back asking for more money. Because you put me through a whole lot. All right? Let's keep going. So Meredith, Heather, and Whitney and Brittany will be grouping together to go on an adventure that day, which I think is a very terrible idea. But according to Angie's logic, if these ladies can go together and bond on whatever adventure she's going to send them on, then hopefully the trip could get better for the rest of the group because they've sorted out their issues. And I understand a little bit of how that's possible, but it's just not. It's not going to happen. So Mary checks on Meredith, right? And she's over Whitney. And she's over Whitney. She's over Heather. And I said, girl, I am too. Meredith learns about, when she returns to the group, she learns who she's going to be hanging out with that day. And that's when Angie lets her know, like, hopefully y'all can figure things out so we can have a better trip. Now, Meredith says that since the plane, the people told her not to speak. How she speaks isn't okay. She's too educated and speaks eloquently. You know, like y'all got a issue with how I talk. Now I will say, Meredith, you was playing a little bit here. Okay, now one, I was with you a little piece. Okay, y'all not letting me talk. I'm with you right there. All right, how I speak isn't okay. So it's not okay how I speak, but it's okay how y'all speak though. Okay, ain't nobody come and yell at you, Heather, with how you showed up with Lisa. And had Lisa on the edge of the damn boat surrounded by sharks and fish ready to chew on her toes. Okay? Ain't nobody check you about how you got Lisa so riled up that she was on the phone with her husband ready to get the hell on. Right? But this where we at with Meredith. So Meredith was pretty much also playing in their face a little bit when she said, I'm educated. I speak eloquently. I don't know what it is. I holler. Heather said, girl, you over here being pretentious, okay? And you and dictating to me. All right, she says, and it had nothing to do with you being educated because I'm educated too. And once again, for me, that was another moment of where Heather needs the ladies to see her as on the same level as them. And it's not that they don't, but maybe you don't carry yourself like that, girl. Like, I don't know. But girl, it grinds her gears that she may be viewed as less than the other ladies when the audience don't even see it like that. That's just something that's going on in your head. Okay? I'm too educated and I speak eloquently. It's not about you being educated because I'm educated too. Okay, girl. All right. But anywho, so Heather still operates from a place of not being enough in my personal. And Meredith gets a call from her son in the middle of the argument. And I would have did the same thing. Anyway, girl, hey, what's going on? Oh, thank you so much for Mother's Day. I'm talking to my child. I don't give a fuck about what none of you just talking about in here. And I wish one of them would have told me to get off the phone. Like, what? 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 Girl, the way I would have sat on that phone with my child, I'm not going to hold y'all. Okay? I'm not going to hold y'all. Whatever conversation we have, we'll pick it up when I'm off the phone. You know why? Because y'all have been dragging this conversation since we was in the U.S. Understand? So it's not going to end now. Especially, you should know, Meredith, didn't you tell Bronwin that I wasn't there? But based on this group, they're going to keep it going. So why would you get off the phone? Now, when she said, I'm being yelled at to get off the phone, I hollered. You know why? Because one, she wasn't being yelled at, right? But two, y'all saw how she added that extra saying, I'm being yelled at, knowing the ladies weren't yelling at her. I think she did that on some, see how it feels when you know my ex wasn't yelling, but then on the, but y'all want to return back and say that I was yelling and I was loud and I was irate on the plane. See how I feel? Yeah. I'm being yelled at to get off the phone. Okay. So they do a confessional with Heather about her thoughts on the situation. So she's like, 1 second, my daughter's calling me. When she mimicked Meredith in that entire scene, I cackled because I thought it was hilarious. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought it was so funny. I'm like, she was kind of like that, but damn, okay? Anywho, so Meredith is upset now because she's telling me, I want to be at home with my family. You know, I'd rather be home with my son and my da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, well, why did you come? You knew Mother's Day was coming, girl. You knew Mother's Day was coming. So why did you come? You came because you thought it was going to be a good time. You wasn't expecting these girls to still be harping on the same stuff they was back in the U.S. But be very clear. This is your group of friends for quite a few years now. Like, you should know how they operate. Okay? Everybody looking at her like, oh, okay then. So then Lisa said, well, I'm saying right now, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Love you, sons. But girl, I'm happy with where the hell I'm at today, okay? Girl, I'm having a great time. Thank you. Now, Heather brings up being rocked over the coals or whatever it was. She was like, you know, I feel like you jumped on my back in so many words and you disregarded the history that we have with each other, me paraphrasing what she says. And she was like, I just felt like it was messed up and it hurt my feelings. And you never apologize for it. Like, you never deeply apologize. And I'm over here like, girl, deeply apologize. Like, that lady didn't have to deeply apologize to you. So she says, if I would have maybe stepped outside of myself, or stepped outside of my comfort zone and say that I'm sorry, you know, it wouldn't matter because I didn't get that from you or something like that. And, you know, I'm not okay and all, just like whatever. Like, I just felt like, one, Heather said a bunch of nothing. She said a bunch of nothing to me. Meredith says, you know, well, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. Okay, oops, my bad. Sorry, girl. I don't know what you want me to say outside of that. I said, I know that's right. She wants you to deeply apologize. Not just say, I'm sorry. She wants you to deeply grovel. Like, no. Sorry, boo. Let's move on. Right? Then she says, this is how you know Heather's full of shit. Because as she's having the conversation with Meredith, Meredith tells her, sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. Because where else can you go with that? Then Heather says, what about Brittany and Whitney? Because they experienced BITCH. She's already had a conversation with Brittany. Her and Brittany should be good. While Brittany's sitting in the back of the bus, nodding her head in agreement to everything. They should be fine. You and Whitney, or more so, she just told you sorry. When it comes to Whitney, I don't owe a bitch anything that has sat up here and accused me of abusing substances and all kinds of stuff. And for you to think that I'm supposed to consult, no, she needs to be talking to me with an apology. It's not the other way around. She is a liar. And you don't get to dictate my experience with her. You don't get to dictate how I react with her after she's made said allegations. But when it's time to show up and do your own drug test, you're too afraid to do it. So who's really the person out here abusing things? If you ask me, it's giving her, because ma'am looked very guilty. And she needed to hurry up and clean it up before things are flipped on her ass, okay? Be very clear about that. So that's how, for me, I know that Heather is full of shit. Okay? Straight full of it. So Lisa jumps into the conversation, and now Heather want to be frustrated at Lisa speaking on Meredith or speaking up for Meredith. And I'm like, but you used to speak for Lisa all the time. And now you over here trying to speak for Brittany and Whitney. Huh? So Whitney asked Meredith, why do you always feel like I come for you? And then Meredith said, because you do. She was like, no, I don't. She's like, girl, you just sat up here and started rumors about me, about mental health and substance abuse. Like, girl, if you do not get out my face, I'm not interested in shit you got to say. I stood and I stand with Meredith. Heather tells her not to be an ice queen and to feel what Whitney is saying. It's like, bitch, I am feeling what she's saying. I felt what she said. And that is the very reason why I don't want to talk to her in this moment. Girl, are you hearing yourself? I've already addressed what I need to address with you. Please do not address anything else with me regarding somebody else, because they are here and they can speak for themselves, and I'll address that with them when I'm ready. Are we good? We good. Don't say nothing else to me. Like, girl, So the ladies split into their groups. Meredith gets with her group, and then she kind of like walks off or whatever. Whitney fell, okay? She done slipped down. Anywho, Meredith walks off, and with Meredith, I kind of feel like she should have just found her way back to the villa, honestly. And if she couldn't do that, I feel like I probably would have just went with the ladies, knowing that I'm in an area I'm not familiar with. I would have went with the ladies, but I wouldn't have said nothing to them. I just would have sat there for real. And that's what she was doing until that chef came over to check on her, hug on her, make sure she was good. And that's when she kind of like opened up, talking about how she was sad. She's not going to talk to her son because now he didn't caught a flight to go to where he's going to go. So she's not going to talk to him. And Brittany, this is why I would forever get in Brittany's SHI if I was Meredith. This BITCHHHHHH exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point times 3. Okay? This gonna sit up here and say, well, I didn't talk to my kids for 3 years, so. You want to run that? You want to run that? Run that by me again? And before she could get a chance, I would have cussed her out. Don't you ever dare compare your position as a mom to me. Don't ever compare your motherhood to me. Don't you ever compare your relationship with your children to me. It's very common for you to celebrate Mother's Day without your children. We know that. Don't you ever dare. When it comes to me, don't speak on motherhood with me. Don't speak on motherhood with me. Okay? Baby, I would have had to, when Brittany said that. When Brittany said that, and I'm like, do y'all see this? And y'all are still pouncing on Meredith for how she shows up, but Whitney nor Heather are not going to tell Brittany to chill out. It's not the time. Also knowing that she has a poor relationship with her daughter or daughters. Whitney being a person that knows firsthand because y'all have had a conversation and y'all have talked and you tried to tell her how to handle it with her kids. And you saw that she wasn't fully going down that road until episodes later where she finally goes to therapy with her daughter. Like, girl, what? You don't get to have one therapy session with your child and just think that you're fixed. Like, girl, is you cool? And y'all not going to tell her, not right now? That's when Meredith says, oh, yes, it's always about you. Hey, Meredith, you should have gave her a little more than that. You should have gave her a little more than that. I'm like, and y'all wonder why I had words for her or I had things to say when I was on the plane. You see this? Y'all see this? But y'all like to sit up here and holler about y'all being my friends, right? Y'all like to sit up here and holler about, oh, you called me a liar whole time. You put rumors out there on me, right? You over here talking about something, oh, you shouldn't treat her like that. Girl, you've treated plenty of people certain ways. Like, let's not, right? And then you want to sit up here and tell me how I should and should not treat this lady who literally just downplayed the fact that I had to get off the phone with my child. I'm not going to see my child. And she going to sit up here and say, well, I haven't seen mine in 3 years. So, girl, what? Again, Beyonce mute challenge on them hoes. Because when I say I want to say nothing to them, stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. Okay, so Lisa thinks everything can be resolved with a convo and everything can be overwhelming when you're the one in that situation. So Bronwin says, in a friendship, you have to be comfortable with being fallible, right? And I kind of understand what she's saying. Like, if you're wrong or whatever the case is, like, you got to be comfortable with knowing that you're wrong in that moment. And then you got to come together, fix it. You got to have a friendship where you can be open and confide. And I understand that. But Bronwin, you too should understand where or how Meredith feels as well. All of y'all should. All of y'all should understand it. Like, I'm not, y'all trying to, nah, I'm just not rocking with it. Angie says, well, listen, at the end of the day, you be jumping in the conversation. You be stepping up, speaking for her, and you need to let her handle her own battles, fight her own battles and all this other stuff. And I said, but y'all be the same women that be want people to step in and have y'all back too. It is so crazy how I am leaning on Meredith and Lisa's side right now. Y'all are all hypocrites. So all the ladies finally meet up. Meredith's still upset about Mother's Day. Heather says, why don't you tell them about that, right? Now, keep in mind, when Heather was sitting with Meredith and Meredith was talking about Mother's Day, that was the perfect time for Heather to tell Meredith, you're not mad about that. But instead, Heather waited until she had an audience, a bigger audience. Then she tells Meredith, it's not about that. Then she kind of raises her voice with her too. And this is why I can't take Heather serious. Okay. Lisa pretty much agrees with Heather and says, listen, I don't think that you're upset at all about Mother's Day. I think that you're upset about the overall friendships and where we are right now. Right. Same thing that Heather was saying. So Meredith is like, damn, am I not allowed to be upset for like 15 minutes? Like, am I not allowed to be upset? And that's so damn true. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm on the phone with my child. You still trying to chastise me over something that's really not that big of a deal because you're trying to drag something out. You want me to get off the phone with my child to have a careless conversation with you that's going to continue to go on and on and on and on. Okay? Then you turn around with the situation on the plane. She get to say what she want that night, but I can't say what I'm saying to a person, or even if I was talking to her. And it's between us. If she can't stand up for herself, that's on that. Don't say what you want to say, and when it's time to get into it, you ain't ready to get into it. You had a lot of mouth on the yacht. Why you ain't got it now? So, moving on. Whitney then goes into the conversation of apologizing for calling Meredith a pill popper. Girl, F you. Go ahead, girl. Meredith was like, oh, okay, that's great. I hollered. Okay? Because you're apologizing now and then you're going to turn around and do something else later. She going to sit up there and apologize to Meredith in hopes that Meredith was going to apologize to her for something. But I don't think Meredith owes Whitney anything. But Whitney does owe Meredith a drug test. Didn't she give you one? Take it. Okay? So Meredith tries to be a bit more upbeat with the ladies. Once they got back to the villa, she does like, she got her little outfit on, shows what she got on. She hops in the pool and do like a little lap or two competition with Whitney and whoever else. Like, she tries to be a bit more upbeat. Now everybody's like, oh my God, I missed this Meredith. This is the Meredith that we wanted to see. I'm like, but y'all be putting her in a position to where she don't want to be around y'all. Maybe if you want to see more of that, then stop doing that. So the ladies start talking about Lisa. I'm sorry, not Lisa, but they start talking about kissing people. And this is where Brittany talks about the men that she's kissed. And I say, here she go, giving Jared another reason to not deal with her ass. Another reason to break up with her later on this season. So then Brittany says, she keeps a spreadsheet of all the guys that she kissed. I think the spreadsheet is more than who she kissed. I think she got a line item with the name, the date, where, right? The location, what they did. Did they have SCX? Did they just kiss? Was it just oral? I think she got all of that. Contact information too. I think she has a spreadsheet of all of that. And I'm like, girl, you keeping up with these niggas more than you keep up with your kids. That's crazy. Number one. And number two, bitch, I don't know these niggas. I'm sorry. If it was a history there, I do not know that man. He could be walking down the street and I wouldn't know shit. Okay? Especially if the kiss was bad, the sex was bad. Like, girl, I don't know that motherfucker. I do not know this man. Okay? And now that I'm married, I really don't know you niggas. Don't come around here. I don't know. You see, I don't know him. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? I don't know him. Don't act like you know me. Okay? I had saw a post the other day where they said, what did they say? I think it was something like, if you knew me, I guess like 5 years ago or XYZ years ago, you do not know me today. That is so true. If you knew me in high school, but you don't know me today, that is so real. Like, I don't know y'all. I may know of you. Y'all don't know me. I don't know you. Be clear. And for real, like, I don't know you like that. Anyway, she over here keeping the track. Okay, girl. I guess that's good if you over there messing with people raw. So that if you were to contract something, at least you know the people that you're going to say, hey, on this date, and then this one I noticed these symptoms, and then I went to the doctor and did it, so it must be you. I mean, I guess, girl. I guess, love. Good luck. And then she talking about, I think she said she had a list of, did she say it was like 100 people? I can't recall, but Brittany definitely be DICK happy, and she jumps on it. It's like a lily pad. She's like a frog, jumping from lily pad to lily pad. Like, that's what it gives. Well, let's move on. Right? Heading out, right? Lisa brings up high body count, right? So the ladies are all getting in the bus or on the van, and then Lisa brings up something about somebody having too much to drink, and you could say she's a high body count drunk, and that's when Brittany said, "Hey, I trademarked that." Yeah, I trademarked that, and Angie is like, "Girl, what? You did what? I trademarked high body count." And Angie is like, "Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you do that?" And I said, listen, I ain't even mad at Brittany. Now, I don't like Brittany, but I'm not mad at her trademarking it. You don't get to clown me and then think that I'm not going to sit up here and trademark the shit that you used against me. Yeah, I'm going to use that to my advantage. So one, keep people from saying it, right? Or two, make money off of it on some Candy Burris type thing. Okay? That's what I say, girl. All right, because what Phaedra said something about a dungeon that Candy had. You think Candy didn't go and create a dungeon? About trademark the name and start touring and doing what she do? Like, I'm confused. That's up for grabs. Now, the moment that you start seeing high body count go viral, Angie, that's the moment that you should have trademarked it. Now, Angie, I don't think you should be too upset about high body count because in my personal, you have a lot of reads. You have a lot of good one-liners, a lot of good things that may stick when it comes to this cast. So because of that, it's not going to be hard for you to come up with something else and for you to go ahead and put a submission in to trademark it. Okay? Right? But with high body count, I can understand that a bit more because it's a lot that you could have done. Now, maybe you can approach Brittany with some type of deal. Maybe Brittany should approach you with a deal, and maybe y'all could do something and collab with some type of high body count hair product or whatever the case is, right? Maybe. Maybe, just maybe, right? Maybe you could trademark high body count and spell it differently. Who knows? I don't. Okay, since you're so involved with Greek, maybe you could trademark the Greek version of high body count hair or something, right? So they were really, or at least Angie was really upset with that. Some of the ladies were disappointed and surprised, okay? Brittany says, she loves her hair. Like I don't understand the issue with my hair. Like, I love my hair. Angie says, yeah, your hair is fine, but it's just a little too long for your age. I'm weak AF. Weak AF. That lady told her, what? It's too long for your age? Is crazy. Now, because Brittany, to me, I feel like it may be true. There is a confessional look of Brittany where she has the short hair, and I don't know if she has if they're crimps or like big deep waves in the hair, and I think she may have one pink, but it was from this latest episode. It was a new look that I have not seen, and I said, oh, Brittany. I said, oh, girl, this is too cute. And that was before I heard what Angie said about her. And I'm like, you know what? When I think about it, that was a really cute confessional look, and it was short. She just might do better with the shorter styles versus the long one for her age. Baby, Angie lit her up with that. So Meredith and Bronwin, right? So they talk about the new flask and how they're going to patent ting ting ting. Now that is one of Brittany's things. Ting ting ting. So they're gonna patent that. And the bag that she had was super cute. It was a little clutch, and it looked like a martini, glass or whatever the case was. And what they're gonna do is put like a secret flask inside of it. Whatever it is, I love the idea. I think you ladies should go full throttle into making this happen. And next season, that's what I want to see. I want to see you guys in the lab actually working on making Ting 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 a business venture. When I tell you in my personal that purse will sell, and y'all can just do so many different varieties and variations. Like, y'all need to connect with Rachel Zoe. Because one thing Rachel Zoe does that I also believe and like, I think she look at some of these other expensive products that people create. And it's like, oh, this is super expensive. And how can we make something similar but more affordable? Why not? Why not? We just had an issue like that over there on Real Housewives of Atlanta where Drew got a certain bag and Shamia tried to drag her out and say, oh, you got that from Akira or whatever the case was. And then the person ended up sending her an official bag, but also said that the bag that Drew had was an official bag and not the dupe that Shamia said, right? So I'm like, listen, those little clutch bags are coming in handy a lot, right? I don't think that a person should be, first of all, I think it should be a double thing, right? It should be a secret flask in there. But it also should be able to carry, a cutesy bootsy amount of belongings, maybe one key, a key to the car, something like that. Maybe not a cell phone, your little lip gloss, whatever it is. Okay. Something cutesy bootsy inside the bag, but also have a hidden flask. Like, yeah. But I don't think it should be too much to where a person getting drunk or something like that. But just a little swig, a little, Love it. And it don't even have to be a flask for alcohol. You can put water, whatever you want to put in there. All right. And I love that. Okay. To me, in my personal, I think the ladies should definitely do it and then create some different accessories to go along with it. Ting, ting, ting. By Bronwin and Meredith. Girl, please add me to the creative team, please. Hire me. Add me to the creative team so I can help y'all with that. Love it down. Angie says that she feels like it's embarrassing that Brittany would go and trademark that name. It's embarrassing. I'm like, not really embarrassed. I think that you might be embarrassed, Angie, because you did not do the idea first. So Brittany thinks that Angie is jealous of her hair. I said, girl, please stop it. You always look like you just came out of a particular house. Like, you always look like it's not giving razzle, bedazzle or anything. It's just giving everywhere razzled. Like, it's just not giving what you think. And Angie hair is always top tier in comparison to yours. Brittany says, just because you thought of the same idea doesn't mean. And then Bronwin said, wait a minute. And I'm with Bronwin. She didn't think of the same idea, girl. You didn't think of it at all. Be clear. High body count hair came from Angie, period. Not you. However, I do agree with what Brittany said at the end of it. She pretty much said something like, well, you should have been. She said, just because I was smart enough to do it first, she's not wrong. She's not wrong on that. It's facts. And Angie should have been moving quicker than Brittany. So Whitney now all of a sudden wants to talk about making fun of people and how they should stop. Girl, HOE. Ma'am, if you do not sit down, you literally just accused Meredith of doing drugs and other things. Shut up and have a seat. Have a seat. Now you want to sit up here and talk about how we shouldn't say certain things about people. When you be killing me with your morals and stuff. And when you choose to pick your morals up and put them down. Like, girl, shut up. Brittany, you're starting to get on my Ashley Darby list. And I never thought I'd see today, but you're starting to get on that Ashley Darby list to where I'm about to say you need a break. And the only reason why they probably won't give you a break, I might sympathize with you a little bit, is because you ain't about got no other income. And them kids need to be taken care of. Okay? But you getting on my nerves. All right? So when Whitney started saying this, Bronwin said, "Oh no, baby, you're not finna include me in that." She said, "Me nor Meredith say anything about her bronzer nor her hair. So let's not make this a group project." I said, "I know that's right. I know that's right. You hear me?" So Meredith says, "Oh, wait. So you mean to tell me Brittany can dish it, but she can't take it?" I said, "Baby, and that's my cue." And that was the editor's cue as well. As we end this episode on that note, she can dish it and she's not supposed to take it. Like, what? You could say what you say, get fly, and then Angie not supposed to check you and call you high body count, hair, this, that, and the other. Oh, okay. You could say what you want to say about a TikTok and reinforce it with Meredith, but Meredith not supposed to feel a way about it? Oh, okay. Because even if it was on TikTok and it was already out there, you brought it to the group. And then for Heather to be like, "Oh, and Meredith, you've reacted way crazier to this TikTok than you have with other things." Were the other things brought to the show? Because if they weren't, then she probably wasn't going to react like that. Okay? And then I also think that Meredith sees Brittany as beneath her, especially in the motherhood department. Meredith may feel like Brittany is not of Salt Lake City. Okay? So similar to Karen. All right? She's not of Potomac. She may feel like she's not of Salt Lake City. Okay? You over here trying to step in with this group of ladies and you really low tier. And that may not be nice to think either. But at the same time, don't come on this show trying to stomp with the big dogs. And when it's time to stomp with the big dogs, you get scared. Let's not. That's like those little dogs when the sliding door be between the small dog and the big dog barking. Now when the door slides open, the smaller dog is like, why you do that? Why'd the door open? I was having fun. Yeah, the door open. I'm in your face today. Now what you want to talk about? I got some things I want to say on the plane. I want you to be as froggy as you was on that yacht. Boo. Anywho, I do not care. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all gonna be mad. I don't care. Stay mad today and tomorrow. Don't matter. Y'all gonna do that anyway because it's just how y'all is. I'm not coming up off of Brittany's neck yet. Okay? And I am still standing on the side of Meredith. And y'all try to put them narratives out there about that lady. Oh, Meredith was suspended. Meredith was this. Meredith was that. That wasn't nothing but the cast putting them narratives out there, which is why Meredith had to come out and debunk some of that y'all was saying. Some is real awkward. It's real awkward. It's real awkward. I feel like y'all at once upon a time was trying to get Lisa up off the show, pack her up, is what it seems like. And then now we ain't talking about Lisa right now. Now we done shifted to focus on Meredith. So it's like, were y'all planning to come for both of them this season? Something is off, but this is where we are. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. That's all that I got. I'm Jamie. That's me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, telling my priest to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL, got them trying to clone me like ages. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim, putting shots up. I got laser focus.